With the release of WWE 2K19 just around the corner, and numerous content creators ready to release in-depth details having already played the game when meeting up with 2K, we thought it's our chance to release the top last-minute rumours for this year's game. Of course, you would have realised by now that I'm not the usual guy you listen to, but don't worry, we are not replacing any content. Instead, the Wrestlelamia team want to work on giving you additional content where I can dive deeper into the wrestling gaming scene to give you guys the latest. So as part of the Wrestlelamia team, I'll be producing some bonus content for those who want to stay up to date with the latest in wrestling video games. If you do enjoy these videos, I do have my own channel based around WWE 2K19 that you can always check out, as any support is highly appreciated and a link is in the description. But with that all out of the way, I'm Mark from Wrestlelamia, and in no particular order, this is the 8 last minute rumours for WWE 2K19. Number 1, Tommaso Ciampa will not be in this year's game. The hottest heel in NXT right now proved that you do not need the backing of the WWE Universe to become successful in the company, as in his match on the July 25th episode of NXT, he defeated Aleister Black to earn his first ever NXT Championship. Thus, to see the current NXT Champion not included in this year's game feels almost an impossibility, especially as it was included in 2K18's base game and was available on launch day and not a part of any kind of DLC pack. However, during the 3-part series of the roster reveal that 2K posted on their website and YouTube channel, fans were persistently waiting for the reveal of the NXT Champion, but this was not to be seen as Ciampa is still yet to be confirmed for WWE 2K19's roster. Despite over 200 superstars already be confirmed for the game, Ciampa seems to be missing. Now, this led to curious fans of the 2K series going onto Twitter to share the confusion, which would ultimately lead to the NXT Champion replying himself, as he was not taking any of this backlash. WWE Games had their final roster reveal for WWE 2K19, and a lot of people are wondering why the champ is not in the game. Well, it's quite simple. I'm the champ for a reason. I don't lose. Not in real life. Sure as hell won't in your fantasy world. However, Ciampa's tweet was later removed, leading to fans speculating the motive for his removal. The most popular rumour is that either 2K or WWE, on behalf of 2K, asked him to delete the tweet, as fans speculate that 2K had to ask due to the possibility he'll be included later in the game as an additional superstar, part of the NXT themed DLC pack. Now, we have seen this NXT pack released in previous games, however last year we see Ciampa on launch day and playable straight away, so why would he be missing from this year's main game? Well, in response to his removal, many are speculating that this was a result of his injury they received earlier this year, as perhaps 2K missed out on the opportunity to scan him, leading to the developers having to delay the date they can actually scan him and his attire into the game. Number 2, superstars are unhappy with 2K. So this year's release of information from 2K regarding the game included a daily rating reveal from the official WWE Games Twitter account. However, the entire rating reveal kept a trend of giving surprisingly low overalls to a countless amount of superstars, which were considerably lower to previous years. So therefore, in this year's game, Finn Balor has decreased his overall and has now been given an overall of 85, as well as Adam Cole being given an 81, and Braun Strowman, despite being the monster among men, has been given an overall of 89. So many fans have been sharing their displeasure about the overalls, so we're sure that the superstars themselves may not be the happiest when seeing their low overalls. However, that is just speculation, but we are sure that the majority of superstars are just happy to be included in this year's game, and just happy to be a part of it. Although what we do know for sure is that Lana herself was very unsatisfied in her in-game model after 2K released a screenshot on Twitter. However, the on-screen character Lana seems to differ majorly to the in-game model that will be released in WWE 2K19, as Lana's model includes short hair, which she's never wrestled a match with, as she generally uses extensions when on TV, and her model also features an attire that she's never had a match with. So where does this come from? Why have we got this in 2K19? Well, it appears that the model that 2K have used and based this around was actually a parody poster that Lana was featured in on WWE.com. So despite taking a major part of this year's roster reveal show, hosted by Lana and Rusev, Lana did not take this very well. She went onto Twitter to share her thoughts as she quote retweeted 2K's screenshot release stating the following: "Who is this? Never have I worn that gear or wrestled with short hair, so I'm very confused who this woman is." She then continued when replying to her husband's screenshot, stating, "At least you actually look like how you got to the ring." She was clearly annoyed enough to actually go on to make a final tweet mocking the in-game model, saying this: "Don't worry WWE Universe, the Lana Day score is not low this year because this is actually Tonya Harding, the professional figure skater, making her in-ring debut on WWE games. I can't wait to see this hashtag ravishing Russian." A new zombies mode? After the release of the official gameplay trailer, surprisingly this could be a possibility. If you have no idea what we're talking about and you haven't seen the gameplay trailer yourselves, we saw multiple appearances throughout the trailer of a zombified Triple H. So what is this, and why is there a lot of buzz in the wrestling games community? Well, there is actually a rumour that this could be a new zombies mode. However, this is quite unlikely, as 2K like to base their game as a simulation and not more like an arcade game as we have seen in previous years. So how will this work? We'll leave that up to you, but if this isn't a zombie mode or minigame, perhaps this could be part of the next rumour. Number 4, create story mode returning. Is it probable that the new Zombies edition of Triple H could be due to a return of one of the most adored modes in WWE games history, which was disappeared from the franchise since 2K took over? Create story mode allows players to create their own stories by choosing a range of cutscenes and insert matches wherever they like in the story to make it make sense, as well as adding text which add extra depth to the stories. So for the players that didn't like to create, there was always the option to download from a variety of stories players themselves has uploaded to community creations, where you never knew where the story could go. Not only do we see multiple short appearances of Zombie Triple H, we can see a short scene of Matt Hardy in what looks like to be heaven. So could this, as well as part of the gameplay where Bray Wyatt seems to be outside the Wyatt family compound, be part of a custom story that has been created? Or could the zombie models and the compound be part of the next rumour? Number 5, new match types. So the trailer's inclusion of the Wyatt family compound has led to a lot of rumours of what it actually is, and one of the possibilities is that this is one of many newly added playable match types in this year's game. Perhaps this match variation could be part of a small portion of the collection of new match types that could be playable in WWE 2K19. And not only this, but also featured in the gameplay trailer was a short clip of a big heads mode, which we also know for a fact is playable and definitely not just part of a specific mode or just a joke, as we know that through the week, multiple superstars arrived at the Performance Center to play the game and many enjoyed this new mode. This is either a part of an additional match type or could be part of a newly added option in the custom match feature. Number 6, new menus theme. Every year 2K like to switch up their game, and one way they actually do this is through the theme of the menus and how we navigate them. Now, we received our first look at the menus when 2K released screenshots of the new Towers mode, which featured a nice clean white theme. However, that was all that was visible, and we was not sure if this was just part of an early build. However, this doesn't seem to be the case, as thanks to multiple superstars, we now have an in-depth look at the menus and how they work, and it does seem to be keeping this white simplistic theme. First off, Peyton Royce posted a picture on her Instagram which featured the character selection screen, where it seems the superstars will be grayed out once they're selected, but that is pretty minor. The most detailed image actually came from Cesaro, and it did feature a picture of him showing off the new menus, where it seems to keep the white simplistic theme, but we can also see various superstars either performing a finisher or a taunt in the background. However, the main details seem to come from the top of the page, where 2K have continued their tradition for the menus with the following pages: Creation Suite, Community Creations, Online Mode, My WWE, and Options, as well as their newly returning 2K Showcase mode. Number 7, it could be outdated on launch. Now, we've already discussed the absence of Tommaso Ciampa from the main roster, but it seems this won't be the only thing outdated for this year's game, as the recently returning Hell in a Cell pay-per-view featured a new look for the cell where it seemed to be red. Unless WWE have already spoken to 2K, which we highly doubt, it's more than likely it will be too late for the team to import this into the game. Nevertheless, this is a less severe issue, as we may be facing an issue with the model of Dean Ambrose, because as we mentioned, Ciampa may be missing due to an injury. However, another superstar that's been out with an injury is Dean Ambrose, and Dean not only returned to television just over a month ago, but he seemed to have a new look, as the lunatic fringe is now, well, fringeless. So perhaps 2K may be forced to import the 2K18 model into this year's game, but all we can do is hope for the best, as hopefully he did get rescanned, but nothing has been confirmed so far. And finally, number 8, a crazy new My Career storyline could be in this year's game. So if you don't keep up to date with everything 2K, every year 2K like to update the career mode, including a new storyline. However, 2K18's style of this mode was highly disappointing, with the highly anticipated free roam feature becoming irritating and lackluster. Well, it seems that 2K19's My Career mode could be really good, including a new narrative where you start on the indies as a wrestler and you have to make your way up to NXT before progressing to become a world champion on the main roster. Don't believe us? Well, NXT referee D.A. Brewer, who was at the Performance Center recently to play the game, tweeted the following. Oh, and WWE Games has an indie mode where you start from the indies trying to be a WWE superstar. However, this tweet was quickly deleted by Brewer, so it's more than likely that 2K asked for this, but nonetheless, he did continue with his excitement when answering a fan who asked if the mode was real with the following. Get the game, you will be very pleased. Still don't believe us? Well, this is further evident by 205 Live's commentator Vic Joseph, as he put a post on his Instagram story where he featured Johnny Gargano in a local street playing as part of an indie promotion, as the My Career Arena may be playable in exhibition mode. Well guys, there you have it. 8 latest rumours for WWE 2K19, and you can check out my personal channel at WWE if you want to dive deeper into the 2K19 community. Don't forget to leave it a like if you enjoyed this video, and don't forget to check out our other videos and subscribe if you haven't already.